In this video, I'll be showing you how to solve the second step of the Rubik's Cube using the Fridrich Method. The first step is the cross, and so here I have the cross done. And the second step is going to consist of taking the corner piece and then the corresponding edge piece, pairing them up in the top layer, and then inserting them into their slot. This is what the cube will look like when we finish this step. And here is what it will look like after we've completed the first slot. And we have 3 more slots that need to be filled. So let's start by trying to pair this blue, red, and white corner with its corresponding edge, which is the red and the blue edge right across the way. And this pair is going to go between the blue and the red side right here. So to do this, let's just use the beginner's method for example. If you wanted to place this corner right here, you might perform something that looks like this: R, U, R prime. But we have a problem here. This edge piece is not the right piece, and we don't want to have to do another step after this in order to put the edge piece here. We want to combine that with this step. So let's undo that move and see where that blue and yellow edge piece is before we insert it into its slot. And it happens to be right here across the cube from this corner. So we need to get this red and blue piece into this position before we execute that algorithm. So we could just turn the top layer, and that moves the red and blue piece here. But the problem is that moved our corner away from where it started, and we don't want to move that. So we're going to have to hide this corner before we turn the top. And to do that, in this particular step, in this particular case, we're going to rotate the R side and hide that in the bottom layer. Now we can rotate the top as much as we want, because the only piece that we care about in the top layer is this blue and red piece. So let's move that to the back and then unhide our corner. Now we're ready to execute that algorithm. And this time it brought that cube with it. Now let's look at the symmetrical analog of the last case that we just did. We have the corner piece here and the edge piece that need to go here. But we can't perform the same algorithm that we did before, R, U, R prime, because this corner piece isn't going to end up oriented correctly. So instead we're going to have to turn the left layer something like this: L prime, U prime, L. And this time it's going to bring this edge piece along with it, which is right here. And so we're going to have to get this edge piece into this position before we execute that algorithm. So to do this, we have to be really careful, because if we decide to hide this corner like we did before, that drags our edge piece with it. And now we don't have any piece on the top layer that we care about. And we want to leave this on the top layer. So instead, we're going to turn the left side to hide the corner in the bottom layer. Now we have our edge piece in the top layer that we can move to that back slot, and then unhide that corner. Now we have it set up correctly and ready to perform that algorithm. And that puts it into place. Now let's look at another case that will come up. And I've reset the cube back to where we just have the cross. We have the white corner, the white, blue, and red corner that we want to pair with the red and blue edge. So at first glance it kind of looks like it would be set up and ready to insert the same way as we did last time, but if we did it that same way, R, U prime, R prime, this edge is not oriented correctly. And the reason for this is because this is not the exact same situation as we saw before. This is what we had before. And we had the corner here and the edge piece, but the colors on top were not matching. In this situation, we have both of the red stickers facing up. So in this case, we need to get this edge piece to this position before we insert this corner into its slot. And to do that, it's pretty similar to what we did before to hide this corner. So we're going to hide it in the bottom layer. Now we don't have any pieces on top except for the edge piece that we care about. and so we're not messing anything up. We can move that edge piece into this position and then restore our corner. Now we can insert that edge and corner pair using U prime, L prime, U, L. Now let's discuss the mirror version of what I just showed you, where we have the corner and the white sticker is facing to the left this time. Now we want to take this edge piece and put it right behind that corner in this position to replace the green and yellow edge. And so I'm going to also show you another problem that we run into while I'm showing you this, and that is if we've already completed this corner here in the previous step, then if we were to hide this corner in the bottom layer, now we still have our edge piece in the top layer, but we also have this pair that we've already built, and we don't want, now if we move the top, we're going to break that connection and we're going to lose what we've already put into place. So let's unhide that corner and let's find a slot that we don't care about. For example, this slot here, which we're actually solving for. And so if we turn the top so where the corner is now here, now we can hide it in the bottom layer, and we don't care about what's here. So now we can move the top layer as much as we want, because the only thing we care about is this edge. Now we can move that right here and unhide our corner to pair those up. Now we can move it back to the corner where it's going to go, right above that corner, and we can insert it using U, R, U prime, R prime. And we didn't destroy any progress that we made here. Now for the final case that you'll run into is when the corner piece that you want to pair up has the white sticker pointing up rather than to one of the sides. The final situation that you'll run into in F2L is when the corner piece, when you have the white sticker pointing up rather than to one of the sides. And so this time you can't just put it into the bottom layer the same way as we've been doing. You can't use L prime, U prime, L either, because it won't be oriented correctly. So this time, instead of hiding the corner in the bottom layer, we're going to actually hide this edge piece in the middle layer to free up the top so that we can line the corner up with that edge piece. So first you'll want to align the red with the red center with the matching color, and you're going to turn this edge away from the color that it's going to belong with. So in this case, blue. So we're going to turn this edge away from the blue side. Now we can turn the top layer until this corner matches up with that edge piece. Now we can unhide the edge, and we have both these paired up now, ready for insertion using U, R, U prime, R prime. And just like with every other situation, you'll also have a mirror or a symmetrical case where, in this case, the blue sticker is on the side, and so we would actually line that up with the blue centerpiece and turn it away from the red side to hide it in the middle layer. Now we can turn the top so that the corner lines up with that edge, and now we can unhide that edge. Now we have a pair that's ready to put into this slot. And this concludes the F2L tutorial. I would definitely suggest, if you don't already know the beginner's method, that you don't attempt to learn this or practice it right now. But once you do know the beginner's method, this probably is the next step that you'll want to take in order to knock off time off of your average solve times, because F2L will definitely cut back on the amount of time it takes you to solve the cube.